So, for the first time, I was homeless. I lived in an elevator for 4 days. There was an elevator in Alhambra. So, the reason I knew about the elevator is because I would go to the movies a lot. Y'all know that I love movies. So, I'd go to the movies a lot, and there's a parking garage. And once the movie theater is closed and the places around it is closed, parking garage is basically empty. And in the parking garage, there's an elevator. And so I went to the elevator um, and I slept in the elevator for 4 days. So in the daytime, I would get up. I would go to, because I didn't know about any other food resources other than Skid Row, where all the shelters were. I also went, so every morning I would wake up at like 6 a.m. and I would get on a bus and go to Skid Row and eat breakfast and either go to the library or I would, because with the shelters there, I was told you have to go to, in front of the shelters, you have to stand outside for a few hours to see if there's any room in the shelter. So every shelter I would go to, they're like, unfortunately, there's no room or there's a waiting list. And so, yeah. And so I would go to like the library and be at the library. I did that for 4 days. And I was like, I need an ID. Um, I need an ID. I was like, I need an ID, like a California ID, because the whole time that I lived in LA in the first place, I had a North Carolina ID. I never went because I was like, screw the DMV. Like, no one wants to go to DMV. And I was like, if I can get, a job with my North Carolina ID, if I can do this and that with North Carolina ID, then why do I need to get a California ID? But at that time, I was like, okay, if I'm going to get help of any kind, I'm gonna need a California ID because I don't know if can you even get in the shelters with North Carolina ID? I don't even know if I knew that or not. But I was just like, I need help and I need to be a California resident to get help. And so and it was so crazy too because I kept getting um, a feeling and I kept getting signs and messages. And this might sound crazy to some people. Some people would be like, oh, you're just being lazy. But honestly, honest to God, I kept getting signs to not get a job, to not look for a job, but instead work on your dreams, work on the career that you're wanting and what you're wanting to do. And for me, that was this podcast that I love doing. Um, there's a couple of like scripts that I've been working on. So writing the scripts and doing research for that, for the podcast, and also music. I love music. And so I kept getting signs that just like, don't look for, and so I even got that sign to not look for another job, but to look for something that is in your career and not just a job that you've been looking for and what you've been doing. And so I kept getting those signs even before my car got like repossessed. But I was still just like, I need to get a job like immediately. And it was so crazy that I was like, I'm still going to go look for a job. And then the next day after getting my car is gone. So I was like, whoa, imagine if I would have, you know, gotten a job somewhere and then been without a car. Um, it was crazy because I stayed in the elevator for 4 days. And I think even staying in that elevator and then going to the library, I think I was maybe looking still for like a job, even though I was getting signs to stop looking for random jobs and to focus on like your career right now. Cause I was like in a panic. I'm like, I'm living in a freaking elevator. Like I need something, just not trusting what God is sending me, the sign. And so, yeah, that was that. Um, but it was wild because I went, so I saw this sign because I would also go to that Skid Row thing to take showers. And there was like a sign there that was like, do you need an ID? Do you need, do you need an ID and you don't have the money? Project ID, we pay for your ID. We pay for that whole process. If you need a birth certificate, if you need a social security card, we pay for all of it. Just meet here on, I think it was like a Wednesday. It was like Wednesday between 10 a.m. and noon. and we got you covered. And I was like, oh my gosh, perfect. So I get there, and while I'm there, I need to hurry up. And while I'm there, okay, I think I can speed it up. Yeah. And while I'm there waiting, waiting, and the lady's taking forever. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting there and I'm just like waiting. And the lady finally comes out and she's like, hey, so unfortunately, my manager, she had to leave early because she had an emergency. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do your IDs. And she goes around and she talks to everybody. She was like, so who all was like waiting? And everyone raised their hand. She goes to each of them and she's like, so are you wanting like an ID, birth certificate? She's like, I guess she's getting everybody's information. And I'm just there and I'm teary eyed because I'm like, I've been sleeping in this elevator for 4 days. I've never experienced something like this in my life. I have family in North Carolina, but I know God does not want me to go back there. So I'm like stranded here. And yeah, I've never experienced something like this in my life. And so I'm like teary eyed, and she's like talking to me, and it was like, are you sure you can't do it today? Because I'm like, I need this ID ASAP. Because I'm thinking this whole time that you need a California ID in order to go to the DSS and everything. And so I'm like teary eyed, and she comes to me, and I was like, I really need an ID. And she's like, where are you staying? And I was like, I'm sleeping in an elevator. Her name's Shay. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I really need an ID because I need to get like help. I need help. I need help. And she leaves and she comes back and she's like, I just talked to my coworker and um, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you to the DSS place and I'm gonna get you signed up for everything. I'm gonna help you get signed up and I'm going to get you like situated. And I was like, are you serious? She was like, yeah. And she was like, hold on. She was like, just sit here right quick. Let me get all my things together, but I'm going to go with you and we're going to get you signed up. And so Angel, and her name in my phone is Angel Shay. She gathered her stuff and we got on the bus and we went to the DSS office and it's a plane. And she signed me up. She helped me get signed up for everything. And she didn't have to do that. She sat there for 3 hours while this whole process of me going to like the whatchamacallit and then having to sit there and wait for the next person and go up and then go to the back and sign up and sign everything. She sat in the lobby for 3 hours waiting on me. She told me what all to sign up for, what all to do for food, for all of it. Yeah, she told me what all to get, and it was so crazy because that's something that my mom would have helped me do. Well, my mom would have been like, "Get your butt back home," but you know, that's like something that a parent would do. Would because I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to sign, and what all to ask for. And she told me everything. She got me hooked up. Um, yeah, yeah. So I got signed up for food stamps and for something called like general relief. Um, and then after that, she took me to the Union Station and she got me signed up for the Life program where I get a bus card, and yeah, it comes with free rides. And because before, when I would get on the bus, when I was staying in the elevator, and I would just get on the bus, I would like every time I get on the bus, I was like, please, can you just let me? Like, I just need to get here to like eat. And so I'd like beg every bus driver on there, and which would give me so much anxiety. And so she got me signed up for the bus card. And so I had like a unlimited bus card. She had me signed up where I got food stamps. I think it was like a month, not a month, an hour or two after I signed up. So I like had food stamps, and then the GR took a few weeks to finally come in. And that's general release. Basically, I would get like $200 a month. Um, and so, and then at the end, after getting the bus card, she was like, "So it's this place called the Cecil Hotel. And I'm pretty sure y'all have heard about the Cecil Hotel in LA. It's a haunted hotel." She told me about the Cecil. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go there. I heard it is horrible. Like, somebody told me that it was a bad place and a bunch of people like on drugs. They've never been there, but they've heard from other people, so it scared me. And I was like, I don't know if I want to be there. She was like, I went through this process before. She was like, it's a clean place. You get 3 meals a day. They give you 3 meals a day. It's a lobby, and there's about 25, I believe, 25 recliners. And so you sleep on the recliners that is like in the lobby of this like hotel. The hotel is no longer a hotel anymore. So there's no people coming in and out. It's just a open lobby with 25 chairs, recliners, and you sleep in the recliners. So I stayed there. So I went at first. I did not want to, but she took me there. She walked me there. She's like, "You'll be fine." And I signed up and I went to the Cecil, which is so wild. And I'll talk about that in another video. I really need to get through all these because it's getting closer and closer to time. So I went to the Cecil, stayed in the Cecil for 2 weeks. Yeah, I stayed in the Cecil for 2 weeks. During the Cecil, oh my God. Whoa, I'm sorry. I have to back it on up. I'm so freaking sorry. While I was in North Carolina, I prayed that same prayer. So sorry, y'all. While I was in North Carolina, I prayed that same prayer that I prayed that brought me to Los Angeles, where I was like, God, I need your guidance. Please show me in a dream or a sign. Like, can you please show me what I'm supposed to do? I had a dream about New York. I was planning my trip to go to New York, to live in New York. So I felt like I had to listen to that. But between that time of having that dream up until this point, so much was going on. So New York was just not on my radar. I had a dream one night while I was staying at the Cecil, um, but I was in New York. And I'm not going to explain that dream. Maybe one day I'll explain that dream, but I was in New York in the dream. And it reminded me, like, whoa, God gave me that dream about being in New York. And I need to obey that. Even though I'm like, how am I going to obey that if I'm staying in a haunted hotel? Um, yeah, I stayed in the Cecil for 2 weeks. I met some pretty cool people. I met so many different types of people. In the Cecil, we only got a full hour break a day. So we couldn't leave the building, but only for an hour. And then we had 15-minute breaks every hour that we could choose to take. And then on the weekends, it was only 3 hours. So Saturday and Sundays, we could be out for 3 hours, and that was it. If you don't come back within that hour that you supposed to be take your break, then they're wrapping up your recliner and you're being kicked out. So not a lot of freedom, but I was not sleeping in an elevator anymore. So it was like, I'll take it. Three free meals a day without having to stand in a long line on at Skid Row and pray every time that no one harms you. I'll take it. So I did that. And so while you're there, they call that one of the first steps. So being there, so while you're there, you get assigned a caseworker or social worker, I think both. And you tell them what's going on with you. They try to match you with a shelter to go to. So after 2 weeks, people usually stay there for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they sent me to this place called the Weingart. Horrible experience. It's a shelter, the first shelter I've ever been to, and horrible experience. They treat you like crap. It feels like you're in like prison. And while I was at Weingart, I kept getting signs about New York. Everything kept coming up. New York, New York, New York. Videos I would watch, New York. Just stuff out in general was New York. And I just kept getting it. I was like, this is so weird. While I'm in the Weingart, I go to I'm like, I need to get back into church. I go to Unity Fellowship for the first time since before North Carolina. I go there, I visit everybody. It's a great service. I see Jace. Jace is the reason how I found out about Unity Fellowship whenever I was going and to different churches. And Jace is a good friend of mine. He's such a good person. And Jace asked me, "So what's been going on with you? What's happened since the last time you've been here?" And I tell him everything. I literally needed to vent, and I just tell him everything. I tell him everything. And he's like, "Oh my God, that's horrible." And I tell him about Weingarten. I was like, "It feels like a prison. They treat you like crap, like food's crap, like everything." I tell him about all of it. And a few days later, I think 2 days after that, Jace texts me and he's just like, "Hey, what's your last name and what's your date of birth?" And I just send it. I didn't ask any questions. I just sent it. Um, and while I'm at the wine bar, I complain every day, and I'm there for 2 weeks. Um, one day, I'm like laying in my bed. I'm on the top bunk. I had three other roommates. I'll talk about that one day. But I'm laying there, and I was just like, I need to have gratitude. I literally just had a moment where I was like, I'm not living in an elevator. I'm not living on the street. I'm thankful that I have this bunk bed, even though this bunk bed really, this whole room stinks really bad. So many people are giving attitudes. I had a little bully there at the shelter that just would not leave me alone. That was so negative to me. That was so mean to me. I wouldn't say anything to him. And every time I'd walk in a room, he just so mean and negative, and I had to report him. But I just had a moment where I was like, but I'm thankful. I have food. My GR finally came in. I have GR, I have food, and I have a place to stay. I'm thankful. And that was all. There was no buts. There was no like, oh, but this could be better. I was just like, I'm thankful. And that was all. That next day, I get a phone call from a program, and they were just like, hey, so you were referred by someone. Um, But this is a program where we'll move you into a hotel or motel, and you'll have your own room, and we'll help you find a place. We'll help you to for that next step to find more of like a permanent housing. And I was just like, oh my God. They was just like, so meet us at, they gave me like the address to like meet. And at first I was kind of scared. I was like, am I about to be sex trafficked? But it was legit. And so I moved into my own. I went from having three roommates, being on a top bunk, horrible living conditions, to having my own room, my own bathroom, mini fridge, microwave, because I was thankful and I was grateful and I showed gratitude. So I was very thankful, very thankful. But the signs in New York got even bigger. It was really intense. The synchronicities and the signs that I kept getting. Um, yeah. And I stayed in that motel for 2 months. And during that stay, I kept getting really, really big signs of New York. And I got my GR. I received my GR one day. And let me look at the flights, see how much the flights would be. I found this one flight that was like, my GR was $200, which is, not a lot. It's $200 a month. So that was the only money that I had a month. And the motel, they don't pay for like your toiletries and things that, so, I had to buy like toilet paper and anything else that I like needed. Looking at the flights from California to New York, it's most of my GR. And I was like, I'm going to pray on this. I was like, I'm not going to book this right now. I have the money, and God's really been pushing me to book the flight and to go to New York and to have faith. And I was like, but I'm just going to pray on this and see how I feel. So I prayed, and I was like, God, just please let me know if this is what I'm supposed to do. This is supposed to be my GR. Like, and this is after living there for a month. This isn't the full 2 months because I lived there in a total of 2 months, but this is after the full month. And yeah. And so I went to sleep, And I got woken up at 3 a.m. out of nowhere, out of my sleep. I just woke up out of my sleep at 3 a.m. And I wake up, and the first thing that hit my mind was book the flight. First thing. And I was like, what the F? Like, I haven't been woken up out of my sleep in years in the middle of the night. And the first thing that popped up in my mind, the first just feeling that I got was book the flight. So I opened up my laptop, and I think my laptop may have still been on that page of flights. And I opened up my laptop and I booked it. I booked the flight at 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, what? And the flight was for a month ahead of time. And yeah, it's wild. Oh my God, it's like my hand is like shaking. Yeah. So then I got in contact with Jace, and I let him know. I was like, hey, so I just booked the flight. I was like, God definitely, like, God gave me a sign and just completely was just like, book the flight. And so I did it, and I told Jace about it. Jace was like, wow, okay. You just got into this program and they're helping you find like permanent housing and like all of that. And like, it's a pretty good place to stay. Like, so blessed to stay there. But I was like, I have to listen to my spirit. And so, yeah, we planned as much as we could. Last minute things kind of fell apart. Things kind of fell apart. But yeah, Jace helped as much as he could. He's such a great person. And where I was gonna like stay and everything at first did end up not working out. It's been almost a week since I've been in New York, and I've been staying at um, mine and Jace's friend Brenda, her neighbor Todd. I've been staying at his place just temporarily, and I'm here. I've been here for almost a week, and this is my last day here. And I think one of the reasons why God wanted me to like record this video, because I feel like God's been wanting me to record this whole journey and a video talking about all of this for a while. But I've just kind of been like, oh, I don't know, but I'm doing that. And I just really been getting a push and just got a feeling. And I also got in the mood to do it too, of just like, I'm going to record this video talking about this whole journey. I feel like it's important. I still don't fully know what God's, what his plan is yet of everything, but I know everything is going to come together. Going through everything that I've been through, I know that it did not go in vain. I know that I needed to go on this journey, and everything that I've been through, I'm so thankful for it. While I'm going through it and I'm in the middle of it, it's like, what is going on? And it's so scary and freaky, but I know that all of this has happened for a reason, and it's leading up to something great. And God's been having me document everything that I've been going through. I've been journaling, I have pictures of things, documenting everything. And I feel like this is the last thing that I needed to do, is just a video of me just sitting down and saying it. So yeah, I'm here. This is my last day here. Right now, I don't fully have an idea on where I'm going to be going next. I could be in a shelter tomorrow. Hopefully not on the street. Um, I don't fully know what is going to happen, but I'm putting my trust and faith in God that whatever I go through next, or whatever experience that I have next, or whatever place that I go to next, it's all part of His plan, and I'm having faith and trust in Him. Let me look at the yeah. And yesterday I felt like I had a breakthrough with some things that I needed to let go of. I had some realizations, and yesterday was really powerful for me. Yesterday, a lot of praying and a lot of manifesting, and yeah. So that is everything up until this point. That is everything, and I'm excited to see what is next. I'm excited to see what's next. I know that it's going to be big. I know it. I know it. And I'm glad that I have this video and other documentations to look back on and to share for other people. It is Saturday, September 13th. It is now 4:24 p.m. I'm sitting here in New York. I'm in New York right now. And yeah, the best is yet to come. And whoever's watching this, oh my gosh, your mind is going to be blown. Some big things are happening. Big things are in the works. Okay, that's all for now. Until next time, XOXO. Bye.